Tune in, it's the power hour. I said learn your family history, don't be a coward.
Yeah, history to learn. It's the power hour. The 11th hour. Tune in to your history. You know it ain't no mystery. Power hour. The 11th hour. You gon' make it to history. 11th hour. Power hour.
Shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. I'm Officer Zerah.
Soldier Eric.
And this is Soldier Zerishadai.
All praise to the Most High Israel. Welcome back to the Power Hour. Welcome back to the Power Hour. Lord's will, y'all are doing good this week. Y'all had a good week and y'all doing good today. All right. I think this past Wednesday, we had the Power Hour Plus with Captain Joshua. He had an interview. You was on there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it went real good. Went real good. Lord's will, y'all tuned in to that. If not, tune in. Make sure y'all go to the IOIC events page on YouTube. It's on there. So if you missed out on that, go back and look at that. Look at that interview. All right. So all praise to the Most High. The name of this class is Hyper-Sexuality. It's kind of going into pornography, right? And so wanted to go into this because this is something that a lot of our people that we deal with, pornography. Even in the truth right now, there's brothers and sisters that still battling with pornography, and it's a strong spirit that has a hold on a lot of people, and we really have to get rid of it, right? So pull up this first tab for me. Addiction.
Yeah, that's a heavy addiction right there.
Right. A heavy addiction. All right, so addiction, the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity, right? If you could hit the down arrow so I can get some synonyms. So it says dependency, dependence, craving, habit, weakness, compulsion, fixation, enslavement.
Wow, that's heavy.
Enslavement, right? So these are some of the synonyms that come with addiction, because of course we all know that there's different things that people have addictions to, right? But of course we're going to go through one, which is pornography, right? So go to the next tab for me, please.
That's a heavy spirit on our people, officer.
Right. This is from the Merriam-Webster dictionary, all right? Another definition of addiction, all right? It says a compulsive, chronic, psychological, physiological or psychological need for a habit-forming substance, behavior, or activity having harmful physical, psychological, or social effects, and typically cause well-defined symptoms such as anxiety, irritability, tremors, or nausea. All right, upon withdrawal or abstinence, right? The state of being addicted, right? So go to the next tab for me. We're talking about pornography and how it is an addiction, and how we all have certain addictions, like certain lusts that we all have. That one lust that's like a thorn in the flesh, right? Like Paul, right?
That's right.
Same thing, right? So go overview. Well, this is from the Mayo Clinic organization website. And so it's talking about compulsive sexual behavior. The overview: compulsive sexual behavior is sometimes called hypersexuality. Hypersexuality disorder or sexual addiction. It's an excessive preoccupation with sexual fantasies, urges, or behaviors that is difficult to control, causes you distress, or negatively affects your health, job, relationships, or other parts of your life, right? So when we read this, we sometimes think of how could this get so out of hand, like where he causes you distress or is difficult to control or negative effects on your health, right? But we're gonna get into that later on and see how pornography can affect you to where, like it has been saying, that it's a compulsive behavior. So if it's a compulsive behavior, you're just doing it just to doing it, right? And then after that, you won't have any remorse knowing that you had sin over it. And so that's something that a lot of our people are dealing with. It might not be heavy to some degree to certain people, but sometimes it is, right?
Yes, sir.
And so we understand that in the New Testament, it says nothing like the sin is like nothing common to man, right? Right, because we all everyone has that certain sin that other people deal with, right? So you can be battling stealing, and I could be battling stealing, right?
Yes, sir.
So hey, everyone has this this addiction, right? So it says compulsive sexual behavior may involve a variety of commonly enjoyable sexual experience. Examples include masturbation, cybersex, multiple sexual partners, use of pornography, or paying for sex. When these sexual behaviors become a major focus in your life, are difficult to control, and are disruptive or harmful to you or others, they may be considered compulsive sexual behavior. If you could pull up that tab for me with the Family Guy. It's like the second to fourth to last tab. Fourth. Yeah. So of course, just be prepared for some cussing in here. Of course, you know it's Family Guy, but you know, just go ahead and play it.
Parental discretion is advised.
Rated R, yeah. Can't hear a soldier.
Yeah, let me send a message.
Can't hear it.
No sound, sir.
No working on it.
All
All
praises.
right. So y'all could just give IT, you know, a little patience. You know, just one brother up there right now. So hey, let's go ahead and just get a scripture right now. Matthew chapter 5 verse 27. Matthew chapter 5 verse 27.
I got it.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 27. Ye have heard that it is said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery.
So back then, even in the Old Testament, we have heard that we should not commit adultery, right? But let's see what Christ said. He's going to dig in further to us not committing adultery. Read.
Verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
So if I see a woman walking down the street and I look at her for so long, looking at her body parts or whatever, thinking in my mind to where I want to have sex with her, something like that, I'm already committing adultery in my heart, right?
So to the Most High, you didn't already have sex with her.
Exactly, right? Read verse 28 again.
Verse 28. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Already in his heart. Give me 1 John chapter 2 verse 16. First John.
Whenever you're ready, officer.
Okay, all right, all praises. 1 John chapter 2 verse 16.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, it is not of the Father, but is of the world.
So it says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, right? So it's like that James 1, right? I think it's James 1 and 15. Someone could get that for me, right? But it says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, right? It's the pride, and the pride of life is not of the Father. So when we deal with pornography, right, all these sexual addictions that we're dealing with, any other kind of addiction, it's of the world. Right. It's not of the Most High God, right? So that's something that we need to make sure that we're examining ourselves daily, especially if we have this going on with ourselves. You could give me that for me?
I'm going to start at verse 12.
Go ahead. I don't remember what scripture number it is.
All right, this is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
Blessed is the man that endured temptation.
Go ahead, just keep reading.
All right. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord had promised to them that love him.
Verse 14. Verse 14 is what I wanted.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
So every man is tempted when he is drawn away from his own lust. So if we can correct our lusts, we won't really be tempted of anything, right? So if we see like a big booty woman, right, walking down the street or anything like that, or if you see anything like on your phone or your computer or anything like that, there's triggers, right? I don't know if it's a scientific word, but there's triggers to where people resort back to doing certain things like addictions, right? So if you see like if you have a cocaine addiction, right, or whatever like that, you see someone that you know or whatever, then you see somebody doing it, you know, that's like a little trigger, whatever, right?
Same thing like if you were a smoker, like you smoke cigarettes, and you like going into the grocery store, and the smell hit you, and you be like, oh damn man, it make you
Right.
trigger something, you know?
Yeah. I used to be a smoker in the world, and sometimes when I had to smell the weed, I'd be like, okay, a little strong right there. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You had something?
Yeah, the class that was on this morning, the Sabbath class, it was going over something similar. And, he was saying that men are triggered by physical things.
Exactly.
You understand? And that's pretty much what you're talking about. You see a big booty Judy walking down the street.
Right.
That's what's going to trigger you.
Right.
And our triggers is within seconds that we react to that thing.
Oh, definitely.
You understand? It's not going to take us a day. Right. As you see that thing, that lust jumps right on you right there and then.
Yes, sir. That spirit jumped right on you.
Right.
That's right.
Finish that up for me. Start over again. Verse 14.
Verse 14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lusts and enticed.
So when you see that, you're tempted by your own self, by your own lust. Read.
Then when lust had conceived.
And when lust have conceived, when that lust that's already a part of you, that's part of the flesh, is already conceived, read.
It bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished.
When you get done with that sin, when you get done masturbating, when you get done dealing with whoever, if you brought a prostitute or anything like that, then what?
Bringeth forth death.
So once you get done, it brings forth death, right? Because we always gonna be judged for every sin, right?
Right.
So go back to that Matthew chapter 5 verse 28.
That's that post-nut clarity.
Post nut clarity.
That's right.
Right.
As soon as you come to your senses.
Right. Go ahead.
You said Matthew 1 and 15?
No, Matthew 5 and 28 again.
My bad.
You good?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 28. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Right. So give me 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 11. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 11. Right.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 11.
Bring it up.
Searching what?
Dearly beloved.
You said 1 Peter's.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts, which war against the soul.
Abstain from fleshly lusts, that which war against the soul, right? So your flesh and your soul are warring against each other, right? They're going to be fighting. They're going to be fighting against each other. So you got to think about it. If you have a war, one person has to win and one person has to lose, right?
That's right.
One person has to win, someone has to lose. So it's the same thing with your flesh and your soul. Which one are you gonna get trained up? Right. Which one are you gonna let win or lose? Right?
Yes, sir.
Is it gonna let it? Are you gonna let it be your lust, your fleshly lust, or your soul? Right? So go ahead and play this Family Guy clip for me.
There's another scripture, officer, that says that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Right. You had something, Soldier?
No, I was going to say, it depends on which one you feed. If you're going to feed that spiritual man, or
right,
feed that lust in you.
Right.
Flesh.
Right. Go ahead,
Soldier.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, hey, Kristen. What's up?
Not much. I wanted to know if you're gonna go to the dance on Friday.
Nah, probably not.
Oh, that's too bad. I was thinking maybe you and I could go together.
Oh, that's sweet. But like I said, I don't think I'm gonna go.
Well, if you change your mind...
I said no!
Okay. Jeez. Bye, Chris.
Chris, that very attractive girl just asked you out and you said no.
Well, sorry, Brian. She just doesn't do it for me. I'm hungry. I might grab a bite to eat.
We all just ate, right?
Hey, pause it. Hey, so it's kind of funny, right? Because we look at this and we're like, man, how does this relate to us, right?
Right.
Because he's first thing he said, she doesn't do it for him, right?
Right.
She doesn't do it for him, so of course, like the dog said, that was a good-looking woman, right?
Right.
And so, as you can see, she's out of his caliber, right?
Definitely.
Out of his caliber.
Out of his league.
Right. And so he had a woman interested in him, but he turned it down, right? So it's kind of funny too, to where when you deal with pornography, right, you have all these different women like porn stars or whatever, or prostitutes, right? they do certain things in those videos, or the prostitutes do certain things for you. They dress a certain provocative way.
Different categories of
Right.
like, you know what I mean?
And it entices you, right? And so you get used to that, to where this is what
does it for me.
Yeah, right. This is what does this for me. And so if I meet another woman in the world, right, especially in person,
Right.
you know, and then she look okay, but she ain't really doing what I'm used to, right?
Right.
You know, that's how brothers react.
Yeah, because
see-
porn kind of desensitizes you. It's a fantasy thing. It's
Right.
not a real life thing. Those people train and work out to do whatever it is that they do. You know what I mean? So
Right.
in real life, it's unrealistic, man.
Right.
She didn't look like a fat juicy burger to him. Because homeboys loves his food.
Right. All praise. That's what I got out of it too. He like food more than he like
exactly.
women.
Because hey, you see all the posturing that she did. You know, she came out, she rose and all that,
Right.
trying to get him interested. But hey, that's not his interest. You
And he
understand?
jumped up and said, "I told you."
Hey, you know what's crazy too? Another thing is that he said, "I'm gonna go get something to eat," when they just ate, right?
Just got done eating.
Right. So I want you to think about that too. There's brothers in this truth right now, like when they they have that sexual lust, right? And so we try to get them around, or get them around. They always have an excuse to why they can't come, right?
Right.
Or they're always late. And then you understand that they had an appointment with their hand, or a appointment with a
You
toy,
mean
right?
Pamela Henderson.
Right. So they had an appointment with their hand, or Pamela Anderson, like you said, right? So you always be wondering why they can't come, but hey, it is what it is, because they dealing with certain lusts. You know, they that's their main focus.
Yeah, and you know what, bro? My kids are grown, so I remember when they was like 13, you know,
Yeah.
around that age, bro. You couldn't get them out bro. They was in the bathroom for hours, bro. So that makes sense about why they late.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right,
Start
right.
to discover yourself. It's a whole nother, ball game after
Yeah, I
that.
bet they did discover themselves. Nah, I'm messing. Go ahead, play
It's
it
the
for
truth,
me.
though.
Right. All praises. Go ahead, play it for me.
Wouldn't he go out with that girl?
Who knows? Maybe he's gay. What? No, we never know. I say we find out.
You think he could be?
Hey, I've been right about these things before. Remember what I said in 2009?
Bruce Jenner is a man.
No, Brian.
He
That's
did
what
say
the
that,
press
bro.
would have you believe, but he's not. Bruce Jenner is a woman. An elegant, beautiful Dutch woman.
That was years before he.
Stewie, I'm telling you, there's no way Chris is gay.
Oh, why? Because he never hit on you? God, the ego.
Hey, Chris, what's up?
Just relaxing, listening to some of Charles Manson's music. What's up with you guys?
Actually, Brian and I are taking a survey, and we wanted to see if you had a few minutes.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, question 1. What night are the Tony Awards?
Tony Danza has awards?
Name an appropriate price to pay for jeans.
$5?
What year did Bette Midler release You've Got to Have Friends?
Oh, 1972. And it was fabulous!
Okay. Oh wow.
Chris, are you gay?
What? No, I'm not gay.
Well, then why didn't you go out with that girl?
Why would I? I have everything I need in that department on my computer.
You have 28 windows of porn playing simultaneously?
Sometimes I pretend I'm at the security desk at the mall, and everyone at the mall is banging each other.
Chris,
Pause
see?
it, pause it.
You're
So he has 28 tabs or whatever of different porn videos, right?
Open at the same time.
And open at the same time, right? Going back and forth, right? Trying to get the best dopamine, the best effect out of all of them, right?
Right.
So that's what most people do when they're dealing with this addiction, right? And so he also said when he was at the mall, he also pictured people having sex and doing certain things, right? So if you go back to the article, the Mayo Clinic org, a lot of times it said it disrupts your the way you think, right? Let me see.
The very last paragraph can damage your self-esteem, relationships.
Yeah. So no matter what it's called or the exact nature of the behavior, untreated compulsive sexual behavior can damage your self-esteem, relationships, career, health, and other people. With treatment and self-help, you can learn to manage compulsive sexual behavior, right? So I want you to think about it. Think about these people and the way they think, right? If you have a bad sexual lust, you're gonna picture everyone like he was saying in the mall doing certain things, right? Whatever intrigues you, right? And so, of course, porn leads to it leads to a deeper hole, deep rabbit hole, right? To where it can get to child pornography.
Because stuff get old to you.
Right. Yeah. Can get to bestiality, whatever other categories they have, right? And so I want you to think about it too. Like I was saying, the child pornography. Say if a guy like that was in the mall and he's looking at all the kids and all the women and children out there, right? What do you think they're thinking? If they have this deep sexual lust for pornography, right? So it's something that's very that has a hold on a lot of people here in America, even in the world, right? Not just us 12 tribes, but all the other people.
Oh, definitely.
All the other nations, right?
And it's go ahead.
You know, because it's a chemical reaction.
Right. It's called dopamine.
Occurring. Exactly. And the dependence on that increases over time because you're trying to recreate that initial effect, and you're not gonna be able to because once that effect wears off, now you're trying to go back. Let me see if I can get it again, and then over time that addiction increases because now you got to be doing more things to stimulate yourself to get the reaction that you had in the first instance, which you're not gonna get. So that's why that addiction continues to grow and grow.
To reach that same
You had something.
Oh, I was just gonna say that things were a little different when I was younger. You know what I mean? As far as like
you didn't have all the videos.
No,
and all
we didn't
that.
have. I mean, none of that, bro. We didn't have none of that. You had, if you could get a magazine, if you could get one, you know what I mean? That was like the best thing you could have. But
and then you gotta try to hide it.
Right. And if you got a Judah mama, they they look everywhere, man. Oh, you can't get away with nothing. But nowadays, man, that's how you know that it's crafty counsel, because this thing is like, it's free. There's not a 14-year-old kid without a phone that can type in anything they want, anything that comes to their imagination. They can type that in on that phone, and it's gonna show it to them. Right. Yeah. So I just wanted to make that comparison.
Go down for me a little bit. Go down for me, Othaniel. All right, symptoms. Some indications that you may be struggling with compulsive sexual behavior include your recurrent and intense sexual fantasies, urges and behaviors that take up a lot of your time and feel as if they're beyond your control, right? You feel driven to do certain sexual behaviors, feel a release of the tension afterward, but also feel guilt or remorse. You've tried unsuccessfully to reduce or control your sexual fantasies, urges, or behavior. You use compulsive sexual behavior as an escape from other problems such as loneliness, depression, anxiety, or stress, right? That's kind of what I was just putting on right there with the Family Guy, right? You continue to engage in sexual behaviors that have serious consequences, such as the potential for getting or giving someone sexually transmitted infection, the loss of important relationships, trouble at work, financial strain, or legal problems. You have trouble establishing and maintaining healthy and stable relationships, right? So it was a counselor right recently, and so Captain Joshua had said that with pornography, there's a lot of spirits that come after pornography, right? And you can kind of see that right there if you kind of let your house go when you have that spirit on you, right? And so other things affect you and your household and the people around you. So that spirit, a pornography spirit, the lustful spirit, is a very heavy spirit that's on our people, right?
It's and I mean it's slightly homosexual too. You know what I mean? Depending on what you're looking at. I mean, you are looking at another man with a woman, so
exactly.
So it's like that's borderline homosexual. You know what I mean?
Right. And so when you see that, you just get used to it. Then you have that and randomly they end up popping into you that picture of that dude's rod.
Yes sir.
Like come on now. You know what I mean? Like people have that. So,
yes sir.
It's crazy. But hey, go to the video, The Science of Pornography Addiction.
Yeah, it's crazy how much it's changed, like technology wise, has changed just over the years, man. It's crazy.
Right.
Especially when it comes to porn and sex, because that's what what did they say? Sex sells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, another thing is it's crafty counsel for our people too, to keep us in sin.
Yeah, that's true. Because to be honest with you, you don't have to necessarily look for porn
No, you don't.
to even
No,
the damn commercials.
I was gonna say, you can
that they
just
put
get on your
TV.
Right.
You know, there's always some sexual suggestion
Mm-hmm.
in those things.
Right.
Like you said,
And lately I've realized that there's the homosexual thing there. You can't watch a show, you can't do nothing without seeing some kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, man. They putting it in everything.
Right. Go ahead, play that for me, soldier.
Person. But with the current pornography epidemic, as some call it, one has to wonder how exactly this may affect our desires and perception of sexuality. Moreover, how does it affect our sex lives? Pornography constitutes about 25% of all search engine requests and is the fourth most common reason.
Pause. So every time we get on our phone, right, we look for an address, we try to find directions or something. We try to figure out what's 1 + 1 = 2. We want to figure out certain math problems, things like that. Everything we Google, right?
Right.
Everything we Google, you just think about it for the whole week, right? Everybody, the search engines, right, like Google, right? 25% of searches is pornography.
That's a lot, man.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Hey, check this out. This morning I'm coming up. You know, I want to watch a video on YouTube. Why is it that every picture that I'm looking at is Fat Booty Judy?
Right. Right.
Yeah, they promote that thing.
Yeah, just as you open up YouTube. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, damn it.
25.
Where's IUIC TV?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So 25% of searches is pornography.
Hey,
And so
officer,
it's what's up?
I was gonna say, and to point out as well, the algorithms that these different companies put out nowadays for social media, they tweak the algorithms to where you may not be looking for that, but it's still gonna pop up just because of the way that they have it flowing.
Right. And so it's kind of crazy because some people say that pornography is like the cigarettes of our generation.
Okay.
So you never really see like a lot of people, young people, really smoking cigarettes like they used to back then. But
Like when I was younger,
yeah, but the main thing now is pornography. It's like cigarettes of our generation. But go ahead, play it. Go 5 seconds back for me.
Watch a music video nowadays. It ain't nothing but that's almost porn by itself.
Right. And that's crazy. That's crazy too, because sometimes I watch a music video and something happen, like with a girl come on there, and I'm like, "Dang, I didn't know this was in the music video." And I'm actually doing it on my personal computer. You know, it's connected to my work, and I'm like, "Oh man, oh my job don't see this music video."
Went
like,
there,
right? What's going on?
Right.
That's funny too. You said that.
It's the truth, though, man.
Right. Go ahead, play that for me.
About 25% of all search engine requests and is the fourth most common reason people give for going on the internet. And while it may seem to simply facilitate an instinctual sexual response linked to millions of years of evolution, the truth is pornography has dynamically changed over time, ultimately molding our tastes and desires. The not so shocking truth is that pornography has profound consequences for the brain and acts in many ways like a drug. With prolonged exposure, your tolerance is increased and many often find themselves addicted. Though it's not a physical
your tolerance is increased after a certain amount of time, right? So that's like with any other addiction, like they said, drug is like a porn, right? Porn is like a drug, so it's like the same thing, like Xanax or whatever they have. What's the fentanyl that got going on out here?
Yes, sir.
Fentanyl, things like that.
I mean, you do it once, it's good. But as you continue to do so,
right,
it's less and less to you. So then you end up doing more and more to try to reach. So you just said
reach that peak, right? All right, go ahead, play it.
Substance, it leads to the same general loss of control, the compulsiveness to seek out the activity despite negative consequences, and withdrawal when it goes away, much like that of gambling or running, for example. The issue is that continued exposure can cause long-term or even lifelong neuroplastic change in the brain. Dopamine is released as a reward whenever we accomplish something, whether it be eating to sustain life or sexual activity to produce future life. And this dopamine consolidates neural connections in order to drive us to perform the same activity in the future. In other words, it alters and forms the brain cells to motivate certain actions. It rewires your brain. The National Institutes of Health measure drug addictiveness by testing rats. The rat is trained to press a button in order to get a drug, and the harder it works indicates how addictive the substance is. It turns out that the more addictive a drug is, the more dopamine we see released. And while there is, unfortunately, no rat porn that we can give to them, we do know that dopamine is also released during sexual excitement, which pornography plays right into. The more time you spend doing it, the more dopamine gets released, which reinforces the behavior and makes you not only desire it in the future, but require it. And as you begin to imagine these images away from the computer or while having sex, they become reinforced. Furthermore, each orgasm releases even more dopamine, which consolidates the connections made during the session. It's a feedback loop that becomes harder to escape. And just like a drug, your tolerance for visual stimulation has now compounded, making it more difficult to be turned on by reality. Pornography addiction can often lead to finding your mate less attractive. The good news is, it doesn't have to be permanent. Usually when people understand the mechanism and realize it's affecting their relationships, they can stop. The brain is often described as a use it or lose it system because the neural connections you stimulate grow stronger and desire to be activated, while the ones you ignore become weakened. Much like your muscles, which, if sitting still all day, itch for activity, but after prolonged non-use, they become complacent. Luckily, because of this use it or lose it brain, the same neuroplastic system that proliferates these habits can also be used to acquire healthier ones. Got a burning question you want answered?
You good? Alright, so y'all can see that it has a huge effect, like we've been saying over and over again, right? And so it affects marriage relationships, as you can see. Like the guy was like, well, the woman, she said, "I'm naked, honey, I'm naked," and then the guy was like, yeah. Right, that's some relationships in Israel today, even in the world, right?
Yeah, for real. I remember I used to work at a warehouse, and this Caucasian Esau, he married, he got his wife, and we talking at work, and he's saying that his wife, he's having issues in his marriage because he's addicted to porn. I'm like, bruh,
come
how
on,
the hell does that happen?
Right.
If you got a woman,
how can
you understand why even bother with the porn?
Right.
Because I wasn't getting it. I'm like, God damn it, you got a wife over there, then go deal with the woman. But now
he was an Edomite, you said?
Yeah, he'll like whack off in the next room and then go to bed. Go lay down beside his wife. I'm like, damn, bro. That's some crazy stuff. But now you understand it's an addiction that he's dealing with.
Right.
You understand? So
that's in their spirit, though. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me Sirach chapter 18 verse 31. Sirach chapter 18 verse 31. Right. So after a while, you have that tolerance and retention or whatever, and then you have to go for more to get that dopamine effect, right? Read that for me.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 31. If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies that malign thee.
So I want you to think about it. If you give your soul the desires that please her, right? Your fleshly lusts, right? You give your flesh the desires that it wants, it's gonna make you a laughing stock, right? And so I want you to think about it too. Like, say, like if we were on a strict diet, right? Because I'm on a diet right now, and so I'm eating like just chicken and broccoli or something like that most every day, right? Right. And so like two days, 2 times each day, right? And so I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of the same thing over and over. Right? I'm burnt out on it, right? And so I want some more. Like, I want something else. Give me something else. Like, I need something, right? So it's kind of like the same thing, like with these drug people, because you're it's like an appetite. You're feeding your flesh, and so your flesh gonna get tired of the same thing. It's gonna want more and more. Right. It's heavy. You think about it, like how it correlates, right?
Like the story you just told.
Right.
Same thing, bro.
Right. My wife laughing at me too because I said that. Hey, pull up that article. Well, it's not. It's like a Google search. I think it's that second tab with the Google. Go. Yeah, that one. Yeah. So, if you just, I had typed in pornography, right, and I had clicked on the news. And so if you just scroll down, just keep scrolling just a little bit, right, you'll see different instances of men getting caught over pornography, child pornography, getting arrested for it, right? And when you look at these articles, it happened recently, like in the same day or two, right?
Hey, officer, there's also a commonality on all of them. They all Esau.
Right. Mostly Esau, right?
See Bruce 12:16.
Keep going. Hit next.
Yeah, officer, you ever watched that To Catch a Predator? You ain't never seen that before? Oh my gosh, man, that thing is crazy. They set the men up where they be online talking. They think they talking to a kid, and then they show up at their house, and Chris Hansen is there, and the police, and
Right.
they be funny as hell, man.
But look at it though. It's like 40 or 50 articles just about people, men getting caught for child pornography in the past day or two.
Is that? Oh yeah, 19 hours, 23 hours. Wow, it ain't even a day yet.
So go back to number one. Go back to number one and go to that first article that popped up.
That was heavy, officer.
And I
These
was
all
looking,
within it say 23 hours on page 3, so it ain't even been a day.
right, and so you think about it. Think about how much that happens every doggone day.
Barely, yeah.
Right.
Because of what? Porn addiction, right? They have to get that. They have to get more and more and more, right? And then you have a county teacher indicted on child pornography, right? The people that's teaching your kids even have that issue as well.
Yeah. They in there lusting after your kids while they there. That's why you shouldn't send your kids to Esau school, man.
That's true. But it's just crazy how, of course this is Esau, but look at their mind to where they couldn't let go of the addiction they had, right? So that's something that we need to make sure that we're keeping in control of our own lust, because we don't want people that's in Israel be up on there, right?
Right.
Especially when they had the IRC shirt and all that, and then they on there with an article saying they got arrested for child pornography, right?
Crazy.
And so if you have that addiction, repent and get from it, for
That's
real.
right.
Because this ain't no joke, for real. Go to the go to that next video for me. I think it's the Dr. Jordan one. Yep. Yes, sir. Hey, pause real quick.
And it's
I think you had said too, when you see a woman multiple times, it's actually just play it. We'll get to it. Just play it.
and it's a non-trivial technological problem. It's now possible for young men to look at more beautiful nude women in one day than any man has ever seen, prior to 10 years ago, 20 years ago, than any man in history had ever seen.
Right.
That's not nothing. That's something. And to think that doesn't do anything to you, it's like, no, that likely does something to you.
So, pause. So that's like an evil communication, right? When you see social media like Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, or whatever these social medias is out, right? You see all these different women, beautiful women, right, every day, right? You're seeing more than what you have seen in your entire life or in the past week, right?
Right.
That's doing something to you, like he said, right? And so, of course, like you were saying earlier, like we see visual things, right? So where we see a woman, we're visual people. That was you that said that,
Right.
Yeah. So we're visual people, and like Kevin Samuels, he used to always say that too. He always be like, we're visual. Men are visual, then the women are whatever. Emotional, right? So it's kind of heavy too that he said that too as well. Go ahead, play it. You have something? Skip a little bit.
Want someone honest.
Things that men need to be focusing in on when it's trying to select a woman for a long-term marriage partner.
Well, you want someone honest. That's really, really important. Someone who will do her best to tell the truth. And my wife swore she'd do that before we got married, and she has. Probably better than I have. And so that's a rock, man, at the bottom of things, So and you can't underplay the role of sexual attraction. And that's a mysterious thing. And so that's crucial as far as I'm concerned.
I dropped this.
And can't be. I have a real question about that, Jordan Peterson, Dr. Peterson. So you mentioned.
Sirach chapter 25, verse 21. So that main part that I wanted to get out of is kind of that intro what he had said earlier, that a lot of times that when you see certain women multiple times, like different women, it gets to you, right? And so that comes with the lust that you have, right? You have to limit certain things, that communication, that social media for you, because we know our own selves, right?
Yes,
we have to examine ourselves daily, and you know yourself what gets to you, what tempts you,
what does it for you,
right? And so you have to understand that if something does that to you, get rid of it, right?
Bring it out.
Try to avoid it at all costs, right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 21.
Bring it out.
Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure.
Hey, it's kind of crazy too, because it says stumble not at the beauty of a woman. The Most High God knew how men roll, right? He knows how we act, and he knew that men will go out of their wits for women, and he knows that we'll stumble. We'll trip and fall. You seen that where brothers be looking at a woman, turning around their head, and they looking at her butt, whatever.
Hit a pole.
Right, hit a pole, and they trip over the sidewalk, things like that, right? That happens, right? The Most High God says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman.
It's happened to me. I ain't lying. It's happened to me, man.
Oh, man. Hey, yeah, go ahead.
This is too funny, bro.
Yeah. The soldier wanted to pull this up. Go ahead.
I was just talking about To Catch a Predator.
Right.
This is the show that they're doing a spoof
Oh yeah,
on.
there it is. There it is. Yeah.
Hold on, I just got out of the shower.
This is
There's
just
some
how I
juice
go
on the
to
table.
Mm-hmm. Take your time. You want to explain to me what you're doing here? I came looking for booty. You came looking for sex with an underage boy? Oh, no. I ain't come looking for no little boys. I ain't got no milk, no cookies, nothing. I came looking for man's butt. A man's butt? Excuse me? Oh, I know who you are, Chris Hansen. But see, I calls you Chris Handsome. I watch your TV show all the time. So you can go ahead and bring them cameras and them police is waiting outside. It don't make me no difference. Now, I tell you what. I like you, and I want you. Now, we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
Well, I don't think you and I will be doing anything any kind of way.
Okay, I see you choosing the hard way.
Okay, cut. This isn't working. Someone get this guy.
Oh, you ruined that butt, Chris. I'm a warrior.
Yo, that's a booty warrior right there.
That's a real dude, bro. Have you seen it? You seen the interview with him?
I seen it.
That thing too. You ain't seen it?
No.
Bro, that thing
I
is
see it.
hilarious. He said booty more important than water.
Prison, that's what that addiction eventually leads
Right.
to.
Bring it out,
when
son.
the women ain't doing it for you no more, that's what it's gonna lead to.
Right.
Wow.
Hey, that's heavy, right? Pull up the one with the Key and the Pill. Key and Pill. Yeah, Key and Pill.
Too.
Give me this one.
Yeah, he bold with that thing.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, we can do this the easy way. We can do it the hard way. He said, all of them take the easy way. Oh, damn.
Hey, I'm sorry if y'all got family
man.
watching you.
Hey, that's a
Y'all got kids. I'm sorry.
Parental discretion is advised.
I ain't going down without the fight, man. There ain't no easy way with me.
Hey, real talk, bro.
Oh man.
Hey girl, I'm home.
Hey boo, how you doing?
Good.
How was work?
Sucked.
Aw. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, sure. What up?
I've just been noticing that every time I leave to go out, the next time I open the computer, the browser history's been cleared.
That's weird.
Yesterday I went food shopping for like 15 minutes. I used the computer before I went to the store. And when I came back, my history was gone, the cache was cleared, and the cookies had been reset.
You deleted everything.
Well, I think sometimes the computer runs an automatic software update, so maybe that just kind of clears the history.
Yeah, except when you update the software, a little window pops up and you click OK, and then it gets installed, so...
I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with the computer, you know? And it's just one of those things, whenever it gets interrupted from the power source, it has to reboot, and it just totally wipes out the history.
Be honest, babe. It's porn, right?
Porn? Oh, pornography?
What's porn?
It's okay if you look at porn. I assumed you did anyways. I mean, every guy does. I'm perfectly okay with that, as long as it's not that weird stuff. Oh. All right, well, I mean, kinky's okay. I like kinky.
Hey,
As
but
long
hold
as it's
up,
not that
hold up.
sick.
Pause it.
Stop that for a second. What did she just say? That's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, she like
Because
she
guess
like
what?
kinky, right.
She dealing with the same damn thing too.
Bring it out.
Yeah,
Bring it out.
ain't no woman gonna say, "Hey, porn is okay," because she know what you're looking at.
Right.
You're looking at another woman.
The
You
women
understand?
jealous.
And they be jealous like that. So when she said that is okay, guess what? You better check her goddamn.
Bring it out.
Have you seen this video?
No.
Hey, it's heavy. You said that too. It's heavy. It's heavy. You said that.
Because I dealt with the shit.
Bring it out.
Play it.
Twisted S&M stuff.
He really leaking now.
Wow. Okay, I'm not gonna judge your journey. It is your fantasy. Just as long as you're looking at women who not women. Man. Wow. Okay. Men, chicks with dicks, horses, worse than horses. Wow.
Hey, pause. Hey, I don't know if y'all see the little squirt coming out the top of his head.
Right.
Hey, play it.
It's squirting raw. Let's look at it.
None of that matters. The only thing that matters is that when we're doing it, I'm thinking about you, and you're thinking about me, right?
The hell is this?
Right, baby?
Hey.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Right. Hey, it's funny you said that too, because at the end he's like, I only think about you when I'm watching it, right?
This place is...
And so she ended up just start leaking too, because she ain't thinking about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's kind of funny too about that, but it's not really funny, but that was funny, the little skit. But that's what our people are dealing with, even in marriages, right? A lot of people are dealing with this addiction and need to shake it. Give me Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 22.
I tell you, them women act like they ain't dealing with that shit.
Right. They be trying to hide it.
They trying to hide it pretty hard, man.
Right. Let's get that. Jeremiah 4 and 22.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4 and verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
Scripture says they are wise to do evil, right? So it's kind of funny too, when we was watching the video, he knew to avoid deleting the history, right? He knew to do that and delete the cookies, right? But he wasn't wise enough, because she was able to go back and look and see that the history has been gone, right? So I'm pretty sure brothers think like, thank God for the incognito tab, right? Because it's like a little incognito tab is where you just type something in, you delete that tab. There's no history showing up.
See, I almost don't even know what you're talking about.
So the crazy thing about that incognito tab, of course, there's different reasons for that, but the way that people use it now, it's wise to do evil, right? It's crafty, right, to avoid certain issues, something like that happening. Somebody goes back and look into your history, right? Give me 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 63, right? And like you were saying too, how women, they try to hide it, things like that, but the Most High God already sees it, right?
Says 63?
Yes, 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 63.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra.
But hold on. But Esau give you those facilitates, the sin.
Right.
It gives you the tools that you need to, make sure you perform that sin. Stay in sin.
Exactly. Exactly. That's heavy too, because that's that crafty counsel.
There you go.
That's heavy right there. Go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 63. Surely he knoweth your inventions.
So the Most High God know our inventions. He knows what we're about to do to try to avoid certain things or try to do certain things so we can be crafty ourselves, right? Because the scripture said in Jeremiah 4 and 2, we are wise to do evil. Read.
Surely he knoweth your inventions, and what ye think in your hearts, even them that sin and would hide their sin.
Even them that sin and would hide their sin, right? So the Most High God knows when we hide our sin, right? The Most High God sees it. He knows it. And he knows when you're trying to be wise with it. He knows that we are crafty and rebellious people. He knows that. And so that's why we need to make sure that we are preparing ourselves and not avoiding all our lusts so we won't be tempted, right? Give me Sirach chapter 7 verse 8. Sirach chapter 7 verse 8.
Even just going back to that video just now, right? She said that whenever she goes out, she come back, she checked the history. Why?
Right.
Because her stuff is gone.
There you go.
hey, you bitch, bro. Hey, whoever prove you, bro, they gotta watch themselves.
Hey,
for
real
bro.
talk.
Your kids too, bro. Hey,
oh man,
ain't no playing with you, bro. For real.
The brother shark was attacked, man.
Right.
Like my son, I don't remember what the hell I was talking to him about, but you give an answer, there's something behind your answer right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's like, he not getting it. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, bro, when you answer me, just be straight.
Right.
Because whenever you don't be straight, guess what?
I'ma know.
I'm gonna know.
Right.
I know when my kids lying to me too. You
There
know
you
your
go.
children. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, you've been with them their whole life. So
For real,
you know when they telling the truth, when they lying, what have you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead. Sirach 7 and 8.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 8. Bind not one sin upon another.
So don't add sin unto sin, right? Don't let it stack up to where you get to have your sin is through the roof, right? Read.
For in one thou shalt not be punished.
So every time you watch pornography, every time you buy a prostitute, every time you relieve yourself, your
tensions.
Yeah, right. Every time you do that, that sin is not going to be punished. So think about all the people that want to they release themselves and then all of a sudden they want to do it right after, right? Or the next day or after 30 minutes, right? That's sin unto sin, right? You stacking it up right there, your
piling
sin.
it up.
Right. So that's something that we need to avoid because we ain't gonna be unpunished for every time we do that, right? Every time we
Can I
do,
add a script?
huh?
Can I add a script on
Yeah,
that?
yeah, go ahead.
Let me get Sirach 23 and 18.
I get it.
I don't know if that was in your arsenal or not.
No, sir.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 23 and verse 18.
Bring it out.
A man that breaketh wedlock, saying, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me?
So, like on the clip that we just showed, he thought he wasn't being seen, but the wife was checking their history.
Right.
And the Most High sees it too. Go ahead.
I am compassed about with darkness.
I'm in the dark. Ain't nobody at home with me. I'm in my room. I got all the lights off. Go ahead.
The walls cover me,
The walls can't nobody see me. Go ahead.
and nobody seeth me.
Nobody seeth me. The Most High see you though. Go ahead.
What need I to fear?
So what do I have to fear if no man can see me or no woman can see me? Go ahead.
The Most High will not remember my sins.
And that's why our people fall when they think, oh, okay, just because I'm in a place where nobody's around me, the Most High not gonna see what you doing.
Verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men,
Right, exactly what I just said. Go ahead.
and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun,
The Most High see everything that we do.
Right.
Read.
beholding all the ways of men,
And He knows all of our ways, like the officer was just bringing out. Go ahead.
and considering the most secret
And
parts.
He consider those things that we may not even bring to the light. He considers those secret sins.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Can I pull the script, officer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Give me 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. This guy goes along with what you just brought out, officer.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 10.
Read.
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ,
So we all gonna appear before the judgment seat of Christ to be judged. Read.
that everyone may receive the things done in his body,
And we gonna get payment or wages for everything that we've done in our body. Read.
according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad.
Whether it good things and all your bad things, we are gonna be judged for these things. Just like you said, officer, not to let your sins start to pile up on another, because every one of your sins are not gonna go unpunished.
That's right.
That's all I got.
Give me you have something?
No, go ahead.
Give me Matthew chapter 6 verse 21. We're gonna end with this one.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 21.
Bring it out.
For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
So if you look up the word treasure, right, one of the synonyms is cherish. So it says for where your treasure, or wherever you cherish, wherever your desire is, what you cherish, there will your heart be also. So of course we know the heart is your mind, right? According to Mark 7:21, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
Right. So there will your mind be also. So whatever you cherish, there will your mind be also. So if you cherish pornography, if that's what all you think about, that's where your mind will be, right? So that's why these people that had certain issues to where they have a compulsive behavior to where it's an addiction, or it just comes up to where they have to get this done, right? I have to go watch this video so I can be relieving myself, right? It's just like that. That's how people roll if you have this addiction. So Lord's will, you all take heed to this and y'all learn something from it. You know, if you have this addiction, work on it, because of course, it takes time, right? Like cigarettes, right? You know, some people take time. You know, some people take a day. But hey, if you got it, get rid of it ASAP, though. If you can.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right. Especially make sure you praying and fasting for it as well. All right.
Study, pray, and apply.
So
like
all
the bishop
praise,
say.
right. All praise to the Most High, Israel. This was Power Hour, Lord's will. We have Wednesday, the Power Hour Plus with Captain Joshua.
That's right.
Make sure y'all tune in for that. And next week gonna be doing the La Hora de Porta. Yeah. So we're gonna be doing the Spanish version of Power Hour next week. So all praise to the Most High. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom. Happy Sabbath, Israel.
Lego. Israel is back. We back. Israel is back. We got the nations running scared because Israel is back. All lies on us because we keeping them laws. When the Lord returns, Babylon will fall. Precepts solid. We got them on lock. God's chosen people with Christ as our rock. Israel is back. We back. Israel is back. We back. You heathen, get ready for our whip to crack. Damn.